a person who advocates and practices preparedness, one ready for any event that would disrupt their daily routine. That is a prepper.
What is up, PBN family? It's Double Barrel Tuesday. Well, actually, you know what? We are Single Barrel Tuesday today. The Bufords will be off today. However, Patriot Power Hour will be with us. They might get an extended stay. They may have a little more than usual to share with you. So make sure you enjoy them, because there will come a time when they go off air and the Bufords will not be on. So no Next Generation tonight. They've got family things to take care of. So I'll be looking forward to a big night of the Patriot Power Hour. I come to you after some long travels, some considerations, a Father's Day celebration, the whole thing, you know. Back for another big week here at PBN. You know, it's always good to get out of state, to get out of place a little bit and see what other people are doing in other spots around the nation. We have a show to go to this week where I'll be teaching people about sort of the entirety of food preparedness. And this is a subject that's near and dear to my heart. And probably a one worth talking about today on the Daily Audio Cache, you know, just as a reminder. Because no other prep has ever affected me the way that food preparedness has. You know, in other words, I've purchased the guns, purchased the ammo, purchased what else? The knives and the survival tools and the bushcrafting and the camping, and I've just had a lot of those things. I've done training. I've gone out solo in the woods, right? I've had great successes with bushcraft and survival skills. Got the books, got the a lot of preps, a lot of different kinds of preps. And, what you come to realize, for me anyway, is the one that I bank on and the one that my family banks on, even my children, is the food. At the end of the day, I mean, that's the one that I bank on. My sons like to talk about the guns a lot because they're boys, right? But when things get real bad, having a lot of food is a good deal. Now, where preppers used to take a lot of heat is in having a lot of food in the closet, right? It's like, yeah, you got a lot of food in your closet, your pantry. Long-term food storage, if that were your only option, it'd be good. Obviously, it's good to have it. I'm not saying don't have it, but if long-term food storage is your only option, you're probably going to wreak havoc on your digestive system. I have to imagine. I mean, that's a serious change, depending on what your diet is now. If you eat at 7-Eleven only, then you'll probably be fine. But so that's something to consider. The way I started looking at food about 2 to 3 years ago was I look at it as there are hoses that you could turn on, right? And each one offers up a different food, a different type of food, a different means of food. And I just want every hose on full blast. That's what I want. Or at least have the ability to turn every hose on full blast. And that has to do with looking at food through sort of a different lens, really. It has to do with looking at food as this many-tiered option that you have. And this is important, guys. So it's, I guess we can start with, let's start from sort of the long-term food storage. Freeze-dried, packed in buckets, ready to go, 30 years, bing, bang, boom, right? Whatever you got or whatever you aspire to have. 3 months, 6 months, 60 years. I don't know how you're doing or what you plan on storing. But it's a big part of it. that's sort of a big part of it. Sort of, I lost my pants, and at least I got this long-term food storage, this long shelf life food storage. And trust me, there's some great stuff out there. Ready Hour really impressed me. Augustin Farms for single bulk items really impresses me. There's a lot of good ones out there. So you want some of that. You want to be able to buy some of that. What they can do that you can't do, because you can pack up your own, and that's a part of the picture too. You see, I want both. I want long-term food storage meals, and I want long-term food storage staples. You get it? So I want buckets full of flour and sugar. I want buckets full of oats and lentils, but I also want buckets full of meals. I want buckets full of chilies. I want some Mountain House around, right? Easy stuff. I favor Mountain House because it's just such less a drain on fuel. Most long-term food storage meals are going to call for 15 to 20 minutes of cooking. That's a lot. So you got the long-term food storage made by you or made by someone else. Then you want to start down the path of, okay, what if we pare back that shelf life and just focus on our canned and dry goods in the prepper's pantry, right? So we have our pantry now, and our pantry's made up of all those extra items we buy at the grocery store. Rotate, first in, first out, manage that, right? So now we have 3 separate endeavors already, right? All that can help us in different ways. From the prepper's pantry, or added to the prepper's pantry, is preservation, right? Preservation is, it came out of the garden, it came out of the trees, it came out of the ground, it came out of the stream, it came out of the woods, maybe even out of the backyard, and I preserved it and put it into the prepper's pantry. So sort of the same idea, right? Food storage that you make, food storage that you buy. Prepper's pantry items that you buy, prepper's pantry items that you make yourself. And now we're operating on all that, right? And then you have, obviously, the supermarket itself. This is a source of food. And you should map supermarkets out. You should have an understanding of the markets in and around your area. This is a food resource, right? This is a food resource. If you're pressed for time because of a situation, or you get a heads up about a situation before most people, which you do if you listen to PBN, particularly if you're in the EOC over there, then you want to be able to say, okay, boom, I'm going to go to the market real quick, grab a few things, boom, done, whatever, if you want to take that route. So I look at supermarkets as a very real food resource. I'm not trying to be a person who doesn't need a supermarket, right? I mean, it would be silly, right? It'd be silly. I feel like people with all the guns don't say, I don't need gun stores anymore, right? All the ammo. I don't need to buy ammo anymore. So, from the supermarket, you can go even further to the farmer's market. And from the farmer's market, you can go to the CSA, or the delivered farmer's market, right? And I really, really like these ideas because these give you direct contact with farms and farmers. So if we ever really see a situation where we are in bad shape from a food supply chain situation, now we have the ability to contact farmers directly. Hey, I'll come up and pick food up myself, and I'll bring you something in return and money, or whatever you got to do to get food on the table, to get fresh meat, to get whatever, right? Again, yes, we're prepared. Yes, we have some of this stuff already, but who knows how long something could last, and why not have that relationship, So you go there. At that point, you're then jumping into food production at your own level, right? You've now covered sort of everything that you can buy and all the places you can buy it from and all the things that you can preserve and put in a pantry. Now you're talking about basically agriculture. Micro-agriculture is what you're talking about for most of us, right? Not that many people that I know in this community are actually doing large-scale agriculture, and they're none of them are doing it for their house, right? So now you're getting into micro-agriculture. Now you're getting into trees, fruit trees, nut trees. Now you're getting into gardens. Now you're getting into livestock, right? And all that. It doesn't stop there, though. That's just the beginning. Whatever you could do on your acres and in your yard, that's just the beginning. From there, you expand to what are your other crew members doing? What are your other teammates doing? What are your other neighbors doing? What are they growing? You got goats, they got lamb, you got pigs, they got cows, whatever, right? You get into that. What are they doing? And then you could even, from there, if you're not in a super rural area, all the raspberries are out. Woo! From there, you can, wow, I can't believe the chickens didn't eat them all. Anyhow, from there, you can get into community gardening, right? From there, it becomes, where can we stick another garden? Where can we stick more gardens? I want more, all the time, more. You're honing in your micro agriculture and figuring out what that looks like, And we're still not done. We're still not done just with food, because you can also go down the path of, all right, what are we going to do in the great outdoors now? With fishing poles, with nets, with boats, with shotguns, with rifles, with traps. What are we going to do now? Right? It's the same concept as in streams of income. It's the exact same idea, right? You want to get income coming into your household from a number of places. Not just one big fat salary that can be taken away. It's the same idea with food. So all that stuff put in place, and now you can also become a fisherman. You could go out and fish. You can fish the piers. You can bring home some saltwater fish, can them up, eat them up, fry them up, whatever you want to do. You're talking about food from so many different sources that you're almost capable of eating no matter what happens. Think about that. I mean, if you have a goal as a prepper, if you have an overarching goal, right, that's based on food, what is better than that goal? I want to be able to eat almost no matter what happens. I want to be able to eat. I mean, that's about as good a goal as you can get. And you can achieve that, I think, by opening up as many of these valves as possible. Okay? So, real quick seminar on food there for you. And the many tiers of food preparedness. Enjoy the show tonight, PBN family. Always good to talk to you. Talk soon.